sorry for not posting last week. People came over for Thanksgiving, and I didn't have time to record or edit or anything. So, yeah, but I'm back. So, today, I decided to talk about the times I've been in the hospital and stupid stuff I've done as a kid. But before I start wasting your time, let's get into that. So, I remember as a kid, when we had a house that had 2 floors, I used to jump from the 2nd floor down to the 1st floor on my staircase. And, like, there's the 2nd floor, the landing, and then, like, 4 steps to the bottom floor. And I was like, Jayden, you're a genius. Jump off the stairs. Like, but I took all the pillows I had and most of the stuffed animals that I owned and decided to put them on the bottom of the stairs. So, again, I jumped from the 2nd floor to the 1st floor off of my stairs. And I don't know how old I was, but I was really young, like 4 or 5 maybe. And so I did that, and I remember once I decided to shorten the distance and do it on the landing. So I jumped from the 2nd floor to the landing and not the 2nd floor to the bottom. And so I had all my stuff on the landing, right? And I jumped from the 2nd floor to the landing, except I didn't land on the landing. I landed on the rail next to the landing. Like, there's a landing, then there's the rail that, like, doesn't let me fall off. But guess who hit their head on that and almost died? Me. Because being the stupid asshole I am, I was like, ow, let's do it again. And I did that again, and it was fine until, like, I did another 15 times or so, and I hit my head on the wall. This is why you shouldn't do this. But again, here I am. So I did that a lot as a kid, and I can say it was very fun, but don't. Like, second thing I remember happening to me as a kid is I got ran over by one of those toy Jeeps. And you know how they have those small plastic Jeeps? Because I owned one of those, and I remember wanting to drive it, but somebody else, like one of my friends, were driving it, and I was like, come on, let me drive it. And they're like, no. So I stood in front of it, but I don't know what happened, but I remember it running over my foot. So naturally I fell because it hurt, and I started to cry. And then I ran over my leg and one of my hands. And I can't remember if I went to the doctor or the hospital for that, but I went somewhere. And they were like, how did this happen? And I was like, I got ran over by a plastic Jeep. Don't be as stupid as me. Like, for real, though. Can you imagine how horrible your childhood would be if you were like me? Jumping off of staircases and getting ran over by plastic cars. So that happened. I remember also when I was little how my sister and I used to have competitions on how long we could hold each other's breath. So I can't almost give me a heart attack and not, like, don't hold your breath for like 10 minutes. I advise that. Don't. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my experiences at the hospital. And one of them I remember most is when I got into a car crash. And I can't remember how old I was. I was like maybe 5 or 6. And we were on like a 4-way lane. And my car was supposed to go straight. So we didn't have our blinkers on. And this other car in the left side coming like this way. And we were going this way. Their car said that they were going right. So we could have kept going. But apparently this fucker turned on his like blinker but was going straight. So he stopped and then he went straight again and we kept going straight. So he went straight and we went straight and they like collided in the back and all the windows shattered and I got glass everywhere like on my body and stuff. So we had to get rushed to the hospital and it was the scariest thing. Especially as a little kid, and I haven't gotten into car crashes since, but it is definitely not something that you'd want to be in. So, the part about going to the hospital in that car crash is when they ask for your birthday, because the 3 out of the 4 people in that car all had the same birthday. My grandma and Michaela and I. And we were all born on July 23rd. So when they asked for our birthdays, and since my birthday was asked last, they first asked my grandma for her birthday. They're like July 23rd. And then the nurse asked my sister, and she's like July 23rd. She's like, no, that's your grandmother's birthday. When's your birthday? It was like July 23rd. That's when I was born. So then she came to me, and she was like, when's your birthday? I was like, July 23rd. She's like, that's not your birthday. That is not your birthday. That is their birthday. What is your birthday? But it just sucked, okay? Last thing I'm going to talk about is when I went to the hospital because I have a heart problem. Woohoo! Anyways, I can't remember when, it was like in 3rd grade or something, I noticed that I had heartache, kind of. Whatever you call it, I don't know. But randomly, my chest got really tight, I couldn't breathe, and I started to like hyperventilate and cough, and it was bad, but I told my mom about it like later on, and she was like, we have to go to the hospital, this is bad. And it was like 1 in the morning, and I was like, Mom, I can't breathe, go to the hospital. So on our way to the hospital, the doctors were like, what's wrong? And I was like, my heart is stopping. So we went to the hospital for that. Doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. They took ultrasounds for my heart. I went to multiple different doctors asking for like heart strengthening stuff. But clearly that didn't work because it still happens. But I mean, yeah. So that happened. I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys had a nice time learning about the stupid shit I did as a little kid. But this is a very brief video. I would go into more detail about it, but this video would be 10 minutes long, and I don't want any of my videos to be 10 minutes long, because am I really worth 10 minutes of your time? You could be doing something useful like drawing or studying or doing your homework, but you're watching my shitty ass video. Anyways, but for real, subscribe, like, leave a comment on what you want to see in the future, and yeah.